Hello all of you wonderful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Raw Zim, and this is TCG Card Shop Simulator. And we're using the TF talkies because they're fun. Also, crowd control is live because that's fun for all of you. Yeah. We're also talking a bit about some of our SCAR games and whatnot. So, yeah.
I cannot put into words how pleased I am with Wyatt's performance, even if he rolled poorly sometimes.
I am very disappointed in Kishel's performance.
Well, you decided to go wide, not tall.
I had to, because literally nobody else had anything. We got started and it turned out that literally nobody else set up anything. No social skills, no nothing. Not even a healer.
I have persuasion.
Did you when we started?
Yes.
Okay. That is one exception.
Actually, I have 2 points of persuasion right now.
Nice.
Wyatt's more of a presence over persuasion kind of guy. And also isn't isn't super social in general.
Yeah, Kishel got stuck as face of the party.
Party dad.
I mean, considering he looks away for 2 minutes and you spill all the beads about everything. Good night, Ido.
I mean, Wyatt, it was literally a choice. Do this or I hurt your brother. Like, what is he supposed to do?
Let him die.
With 251
Dang.
bitties.
Oh, vtuber plus apparently crashed. One moment. But thank you for the Excuse me. Thank you for the biddies, Kenku. Yeah, apparently it, crashed. My bad.
But, also, Wyatt would rather die than let Ed die. So, no.
Nah, Kashel would then be like, then you both die.
Which is why the talk only happened when Kishel was unconscious.
Okay, I'm back, sorry. I just went to get water.
Hello.
Yeah, I have to admit, look, in all fairness, I didn't know how to, like, fully play Sam Original. I have 1 point of persuasion. And 1 point in perform. I want to put more points into perform in persuasion. But I don't think Sammy will ever have any points in deception.
No.
Or etiquette.
Sammy
From what I saw,
has
no, he probably won't.
no
It's some-
guile whatsoever.
At some point, we're just gonna have to duct tape his beak shut.
Look, if you teach him how to lie, I'll put a point in deception.
Just say things that aren't true.
Just
why?
don't talk, period.
Honestly. Stop talking.
But I want to ask questions. See, they answer my questions, so I answer their questions.
Oh yeah, but no, if you sometimes by asking a question, you give information away that you might not want them to have.
Like what? They're a captive. What are they going to do with the information? What's the worst they could do with the information? In jail.
They could get away.
That's a big if. You know, it's just mirror.
Now I feel sad that I don't have Gabby in any of my games because it would be absolutely hilarious if they went with the, well, what are they going to do? They're captive, and at the moment, any single one of them escapes.
No.
Or manages to pass along information even without escaping. Because that's possible.
You think I'm not partly setting up for that? That's funny.
With the misunderstanding about where Jacob was, I honestly thought that you guys are gonna look back to captive and it's just gonna be the blinking outline and he's just gone.
Ding, ding, ding.
There's a little David-shaped cloud of dust.
No, just the captive, the cat.
Yeah, there's a boss cloud of dust.
Oh, I'm
Boss-shaped
sorry.
Cloud of dust.
I'm sorry, I didn't actually use my most important attack that whole fight. I kind of realized. He's a cat and I had a laser pointer.
That, knowing Maddie, that might have worked.
Kinda.
Jimin_ has turned Zim into a weasel. They can only talk like that Pokemon for 2 minutes.
You are become the bottom.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Buizel.
Rip Gabby.
Yeah, but that mostly splash damages the actual bottom.
Ugh.
Jimin
Oh boy.
_cheers with 258 bitties.
Ow.
So that'll mostly hit Merle and Azure.
You know, I don't hate that noise.
I don't either, but it's still loud.
Jimin _cheers with 258 bitties.
CJ. Bruh.
He did not get fixed. He still has his manhood.
Alright, look. It's okay. We can prove it to the camera. How about that?
They're just they got hit really, really hard.
Tender.
Look, I'm just happy that so many people found out what the funny little wound button on their sheet does.
It is
I
Very
think-
Starting.
helpful.
I love the sheet towel.
Don't worry, I'm in the middle of blowing it up and making a new version.
Unfortunately, I am using an older version of the sheet for David because I'm lazy and won't update any of my sheets.
Make
Ah.
a new one.
I would heavily
so-
recommend that when the
Weasel.
1.5 comes out, you actually update
Yeah.
it.
Well, Krill's running the most recent character sheet, so I did get to use the button during that campaign.
That's true.
No, you're doing so well. I'd almost say you're killing it.
Jimin _cheers with 258 bitties.
Is Gibbon about to make a hype train go all...
The hype
What?
train is already going. And that sound.
Yeah.
Gaiman, every time you do it, you take 1 second off of your lifespan.
Jimin _cheers with 258 bitties.
Oh, the hype train's going through again. Just Geemond.
Just Gibbon?
You
It's
gotta
like Keiko contributed originally.
Sorry, you said that and I just imagined that the one Doki Doki Literature Club, just Monica, but it's just Gibbon.
and it's just a picture of a hash brown.
Hash browns.
Hash browns.
That's right.
I bought
Also-
some hash brown patties just the other day.
Also, Ida's comment that the true boss was Riv all along. I'm just gonna say it like this: having Riv as a boss you have to fight would be the worst fucking thing.
Not only because it might actually be a tough fight, also because
Raijin, Michael, good luck charm. Hello. Also, guys, I need $100 if you can give it through crowd control, so I can place order, please.
it would also be the big sad to have to fight Riv. because he's just the sweetest bean.
Yes.
Oh yeah. But also, like, if Riv is actually actively trying in combat, it is just the worst to deal with.
Oh no.
Also, apparently the hype train thing that goes through here is physical.
Oh my
Did
God.
it mess up all your stock?
Apparently so.
Oh my.
It pushed my boxes all over the place.
Hello,
Hilarious.
Commander.
Oh
In
god.
response to your
I
request,
know.
we
Ido,
have
weren't
sent
you
back
going to
a
bed?
Good luck, Commander.
Were you going to bed,
You are
Ido?
forever
That's what I.
was going to bed.
But I guess he decided not to.
Just one
Yeah,
lazy
it is
mobile.
physical.
that-
It is pushing me around. Thank you for those gift subs, Ido.
Yeah.
Did we satisfy your innate desire for blood and murder with this session? Is this happy idle mood?
We got an Ido assist.
It was very, very, very welcome. I mean, look. You know, it's a back and we saved Ido's life. Ido saved our life. You know, it works out.
Hey, Shards,
Also-
welcome in.
Yeah. Also, I just have to point out the absolute hilarity of learning that the boss you're fighting has the most skill points in academics and
Theron Cat
appraisal.
cheered with 100 eggy bits.
Thank you for the bits, Vari. Hi, Shadow Wolf.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just realized Riv has 4 knowledge skills that are higher than any of his combat skills.
That makes sense.
Oh,
It's
Riv.
Asher, for one, is very angry with Riv right now.
Well, I
What
mean,
did
Riv is
Riv-
very angry back.
What happened?
We were trying to save some people who were, like, you know, literally getting the life sucked out of them, and we were supposed to keep them away from the ground so that way that stopped happening. And Asher kind of took away the data and deleted the platform that they were on because someone said that he was being good.
Oh.
And so Riv got
Oh.
angry at Asher, and now Asher is angry at Riv.
Oh.
That's...
Asher, at least, is not one that will run away. He will deal with those that upset him.
So Riv and Bootleg Greaves are on his hit list.
And probably the rest of the party, too.
Even
Don't
Jace.
worry, Riv will just exhaust himself again for the 5th time.
Oh, Riv.
Look, at least I haven't had the XP yet to make his move where he just loses basically all of his health by using it too, because I've been too busy putting more points into knowledge skills.
How? Why?
It's Riv.
Why does he need a move that just deletes
Because
all of the
Child
HP?
is compulsive about making meme characters.
To be
Meme?
fair, my meme characters are also some of the most effective characters.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
no, that's why it's...
Because if I try to make like, you know, a powerful character with it the goal of it just being powerful, he would like that character would just go around fucking one-shotting bosses, and what's the point?
Yeah.
Are you calling Comet a meme character?
No.
No, we were talking about me constantly making characters that have like gimmicks.
Yeah, nobody was talking about
and doing a bunch of like meme moves on them that
Yeah,
technically
but you
speaking,
said
aren't
that
the
meme
best.
characters are also sometimes the most effective characters, and Comet is very effective.
Yeah, well, I was saying my meme characters.
It said meme characters are some of the most effective. Not that some of the most effective are meme characters. That's not a baby way. SMH my head.
Hey there, Simple. And probably not Candy. Starlight
Probably
is...
not. I don't know if I'll be home.
Oh, well, that, but... I was more contemplating, like, most of the players, I think, are needing a hiatus and whatnot right now. And thank you guys for that level 3 hype train. Thank you so much for the support. It really means so much.
But in all seriousness, I don't want to just make a bunch of really effective, purely, like, you know, like, making the most effective moves possible, because that's what I do in my combat testing constantly, and I don't want to have that shit on my characters. I do that more than enough on my own time.
But yes, I shake the Riv for making me sad.
Well,
Riv is a
Vane's
character
not,
that will... Oh, what'd you say?
Vane is not in Starlight there, Candy.
No, but he could give it to, like, one of the like characters that were around with like a note saying "Give this to Vane."
She keeps saying Starlight, and I already wanted to play the StarCraft, so now I'm gonna play StarCraft. Thank you, boy.
I'm out.
Furry.
But yeah, no, Riv was always going to be a character that simultaneously people loved, but they also like got sad by him just because of his complete lack of self-survival skills. Remember, I literally started him out before anything happened with the character in DRS with a move that literally killed him.
It's not even like the lack of survival skills. It's the active self-destruction.
But he normally does that. He only really does the active self-destruction if it helps other people.
Yeah, but he'd do it if it helped anyone.
Yes, it's a Riv.
Yeah. So it means there's always, at any point, there's a chance it just, oh, this will help someone.
Wait till you
Yeah,
find
but would
out
it be
why,
Riv if he didn't start out by doing that?
Wait till you guys find out why Asher is so insistent on being evil.
That sounds heartbreaking. No, please.
Don't laugh like that.
I'll say Riv has a fair amount of tragedy that he still just hasn't even talked about, which is great. One of my favorite things, because it's already been touched upon a good little bit, is the very, very fun realization that when it came to the whole him getting his glitch and all that, that lasted for a month. And as he put it, Lev doesn't believe in anesthesia. So just think about that for a second.
I don't want to.
No. Ew.
So he spent a whole month getting glitch data spliced into his very core with no anesthesia. And his response to having that happen is being upset at himself because he knew about the glitch outbreak about a month before it happened, but he got captured instead of being able to put the word out. And so then, you know, he got out and then found out, oh no, the glitch outbreak already happened. I better go start helping people with that. Ignores his own problems for the next few multiple months.
Which is just Riv in a nutshell.
Yeah, but just...
He doesn't like talking about it for obvious reasons, but that was a very bad month.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. But
I mean,
on that note, I must be off. I'm
Okay.
tired.
Good
Night,
night.
Merle.
See y'all later.
But yeah, one nice thing about Riv as a character is that, like, regardless of whatever trauma, he's like, yeah, okay, that kind of sucks, but I just want to help people.
That kind of sucks, quote unquote, as it's, you know,
Actively
cripplingly,
what would probably be, like, a villain backstory.
yeah, cripplingly harmful to his mental health.
That kind of sucks. Anyway, people to help.
He's one of those people that's just like, oh, other people's problems are way more important than mine.
Yes, absolutely.
And just like, you're dying. Yeah. But I also am helping these people with their groceries. Like,
Remember in DRS, he literally went, okay, if you're going to kill me, can I help you first?
Riv hurts. It's not even like, oh, he makes you sad. No, he hurts. Oh.
You know, I probably should message Zerd of Asher's whole thing.
I do find Arcus and Fulgur very interesting. Or Beans.
Or Beans. I think they might... Riv is going to try to help them, and I think that might make them feel worse afterwards. Because of what Riv finds acceptable for personal risk when helping other people. He might legitimately just straight up go, okay, time to physically go to the Hemka ruins. How am I supposed to figure this out if I don't get to look at things myself, personally? Let's just go into the ruins now.
But, like, both Arcus and Fulgur are just the nicest beings. Just the most wholesome beings.
Yeah, that's when the worst happens to them. It's extra heartbreaking.
And then they're glued to each other like two playing cards back to back. Only one face can be showing at a time.
And only one of them can remember the other.
Yeah.
By the way, Geeman, if you want to jump in voice, you're welcome to.
Give the spiky bean a hug, or beans a hug.
I don't think there's that many spikies.
2-in-1 hugs.
I still think it's absolutely hilarious that somehow Rivs are like, you know, DRS power set makes Shade look like the most reasonable and balanced canonical power set.
It's Shade. Shade. Oh.
Shade has problems, and he's actually about to talk about some of them.
Yay.
If we ever have session.
Whatever, we have session. I've been waiting a few months on this. I've had it ready for the past few months. I'm ready, though.
Depending on how bad things are with Edgar, Wyatt could also end up being a tragic character.
Oh boy.
I mean, I guess he kind of already is, but y'all don't know about that, so...
I will say,
Smile.
my favorite thing about the Shade situation is that legitimately there's been something that came up, it was in fan art, and no one has addressed it. It's the most hilarious thing because it was a very public thing, and there was even art made of the occurrence, and people just, haven't talked about it or asked about it. It's great. Who wants to see the fan art that I'm talking about?
Sure.
What's the worst that could be?
I am a little bit behind on some of these things, but...
No, don't worry. This happened a while ago.
But yeah,
Asher does what he can. He has some limits to what he can do, but he does it.
Yep. Anyways, I went ahead and sent you the pieces of fan art in question that are actually very important.
yeah, no, I'm looking at them and I'm like, huh.
Do you want your hint of a very important way that I'm going to say this?
Sure.
Yeah, sure, Gim, and I'll send them to you too.
Send them to me too.
I already sent them to you.
Thank you. I didn't realize.
You're like, send them to me too, me having already pre-sent it to you.
I yearn for the day Arcus can remember Fulgur.
That'll be so great.
It'll be so good. It'll be cute too.
It'll be very touching.
Even if
The only problem is that it's going to
be.
be the only thing missing is that they won't be able to hug each other.
This is
Unless he's able to when they're finally like separated, but
Yeah.
all I have to say to the fan art, this is adorable. Help me.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to figure out what's the part where it's very important thing that hasn't been brought up.
I don't know. Shade's a cannibal.
No, he's not a cannibal. He explicitly never did cannibalism. Although that's only because he knew Clark and he hates doing repeat acts.
Ugh.
He did make Clark eat himself, though.
Oh,
How else was he supposed to do a fitting / ironic death for a cannibal?
Seb was a monster.
Don't worry. Okay, do you want your hint here?
First page or second page?
It matters for both.
Oh.
Do you want your hint?
Is the fact that he's emaciated?
No, that's actually that was supposed to be like that. That was just correct artist depiction.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I know
So
about
here's
that
your hint.
already.
Here's your hint. Shade has cybophobia due to fear of getting poisoned.
Oh.
Shade has cybophobia.
Oh.
This came up all the way back then, and no one reacted to it. It was great. Are you seeing the problem now?
What, the willingly ingesting food?
Or the fact that he's willingly ingesting alcohol, which is quite literally a poison?
Yeah, but that's a poison, you know. Literally poison.
I think
That's
you're seeing the
concerning.
problem.
Yeah.
He's had NPD this whole time.
And then there was Hunter.
Yeah.
But Hunter doesn't matter. Hunter's dead.
Hunter is dead. Also, random fun fact for you. You know how Shade continually runs through a list of names instead of just saying, "Oh, I've changed my name a couple of times."
Mm-hmm.
And he generally tends to phrase it like, first I would, first I went by Sylvester and I was Sylvester, and then I changed my name to Sebastian. I was Sebastian, and that's normally how he phrases it.
Yeah.
He goes, "I was X person now."
Yeah. Yeah.
The other ones are still kicking around in his head. He just keeps them on a leash.
Yeah.
Because he's had MPD this whole time. The memories just made, because Sebastian was the one, he was the one for the longest and he died as, so that was just the strongest one.
Gosh.
And the other ones don't have cybophobia. Because Shade has cybophobia.
Yeah. Yeah. Shade of cybophobia and the other ones don't.
So you know how he was basically throwing a tantrum in that scene? Yeah, it's because he was at that point it was the original youngest one, and he was just throwing a tantrum over it because he was really upset.
Oh.
Funniest thing. Funniest damn thing to me. Which is also why, like, I immediately was just like, oh, okay, we're doing this this more explicitly now. Whenever Kerr was like, oh yeah, by the way, like, the Sebastian personality is waking up in Shade's head. I'm just like, oh yeah, no, he had MPD this whole time. That's fine.
Shake
This is
Shade.
probably gonna happen anyway.
Shake Shade and listen to how many personalities bounce around and rattle around inside.
He's literally planning on asking Sebastian if he has any other, if he's bringing any other roommates back with him. Because he legitimately doesn't know if Sebastian went and changed his name at all to something else. So he doesn't know if he's gonna come back with a new fifth personality. Because Shade's number 4.
Oh. And what? Seb was number 3?
2.
Oh.
There was one in between. It's just that he occasionally went back to Sebastian because he would always like let people think that Sebastian died, and then like after a couple of years bring him back to see the looks on people's faces when Sebastian was back.
Oh.
In the meantime, he was Sean, who pretended to be really mild-mannered and even shy at times, so that way he could get the absolute hilarity of seeing the look on people's faces when they realized that the mild-mannered, like, accountant slash advisor slash bean counter was the one betraying them.
Wild.
Which also is why he was actually fairly decent at pretending to be a bit of a nervous wreck when pretending to be Hunter, which was very funny actually.
Also, love the theme. All the names start with S.
Yeah, that's his one rule. All the names start with S.
Yeah.
Because there was Sylvester, Sebastian, Sean, and now Shade. That's the theme. And I did tell Kerr like forever ago, hey, look, if Sebastian picks up a new name, the only rule is it has to start with an S.
Has to start with an S.
That's it.
Rajan.
Rajan.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Cute.
Yeah, that's also why Shade tells people not to trust him so much, because he literally knows that if he has a bad day, one of the other personalities might just like take over.
Poke their head in and be like, "Stop! I'm about to make your day worse than mine."
Well, there's that, and the fact that due to backstory, because like he has like like a whole thing he's gonna go into it, so I'm not gonna spoil the actual like contents of why. But basically, obviously, he was a bit of a psychopath in his old life, and that got fixed in the new body. This has came up a bit. But that also means, imagine the kind of things that a psychopathic child would learn. And the fact that he woke up in a new world with no knowledge of what the hell these emotions that he's been feeling is.
And I hug the beans, the spiky beans, 2-in-1 beans. Both of them.
To be fair, like beforehand, he had all of like 6 emotions. He now has all of the emotions. He gets very confused.
Understandably.
Which is also why he'll oscillate very hard between different emotions at times. He has no clue how to regulate his emotions.
Yeah, no, understandable. How do feel?
How the hell do feelings work? I mean, like, he knows what emotions are because he was a socially manipulative little bastard. Yeah. But, like, there's a difference between being able to look at someone and going, oh, I think that they're exhibiting XYZ, and being able to look at your own internal mess of feelings and go, that's what this feeling is.
Yeah.
Is your goal just to cause pain and suffering? Is that what this is about?
Yeah. Yeah, all of your characters hurt, Tal.
You just want to make us feel things.
Shade hurts because that whole situation sucks. Riv hurts because he's just self-destructive and is, and how badly he wants to help people. Vayne is Vayne.
Vayne is Vayne, yeah.
Vayne, like...
You're making me want to... You're making me want to spill the beans on some of my characters, but at the same time, surprise.
Surprise.
Part of the only reason that I'm talking about it is because I'm basically just talking about things that have already been referenced anyway.
Fair. Asher's whole thing has not at all been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why, like, I'm not bringing up any character backstory on stuff that hasn't actually been referenced. Because if it hasn't been referenced yet, I don't want to spill that little surprise. But, like, if it's already been talked about, like, I don't care that much. I will say, it's been quite unfortunate that I've not been able to give Vayne back, like, any of his actual core memories, just because that would be a really bad idea.
That'd be... let's not do that.
Let's not do that. It's even... I did get to do a little bit of stuff with it, with, basically Digi going, hey, so as a part of Chomper's wish, he wants to know more about your character, but your character doesn't even know about himself. So remember how I mentioned that, like, the timeline, it's gone parallel? Let's just have the parallel version of your character show up, and he can have memories. So I got to play a Vayne with memories for a little bit. Which also had the very funny thing of him literally just being so confused about this reality's relationship with Kaza. He was just like, what? I don't do friends though. I know better than that.
Vane doesn't know better.
Yeah, actual Lickvane does not in fact quote unquote know better. I will say, this hasn't come up in a really long time, but remember how in Season 1 I said Vane knows how to lockpick?
Vaguely.
Yeah, so it came up very briefly. Vane does actually know how to pick locks.
Yeah. Not surprising.
It's actually, so, you know, we keep, like, certain skills and all that, we just don't have the memories or we don't know the why. That was, like, the initial premise for, like, what our characters could do. And Vane could pick locks. He has a very, very tragic memory tied to picking locks, actually.
Oh, no.
And it's the worst one for him to get.
Oh no! So if he remembers how to pick locks, something else is coming with it.
Well, he knows how to pick locks, but if he thinks too hard on it, he might get something he really wasn't looking for.
That sounds delightful.
I know, especially considering that you know, it involves breaking into a morgue.
Unfortunate. Hey, Gabby.
Hmm?
Sammy doesn't have a tragic backstory, right?
Good question.
You don't even know.
Vaguely. Maybe. Potentially. But just don't say anything. I think that'll be funnier.
I will say, it's pretty obvious what the breaking into the morgue is, considering when the other Vane came around, he was also just sitting there like, yeah, no, I used to have a partner in my old life, but I blame myself for their death.
Yikes. Yeesh.
So yeah, basically he got, when his partner died, he got told, hey, you're not allowed to see the body. And he's like, the hell I'm not, and he broke into the morgue to see it.
Yeah.
You might be able to guess why that is an awful memory to get back.
Yeah. Raijin has returned.
Welcome back.
Enid, weren't you gonna join the call? But yeah.
I will say I'm fast running out of vaguely funny and inconsequential Vane memories to get back, and one of the only main ones I have left is to really do is Vane getting absolutely irate over some coworkers trying to commit a Brady violation. Do you know what a Brady violation is?
No.
That is when the prosecution or investigators or police, like, you know, anything involved with, like, the state, withholds exonerating or exculpatory evidence from the defense, like, you know, during discovery. So, like, you know, going to trial, both sides do discovery, get access to all the information, and the prosecution withholds evidence that would prove the innocence of the person they're attempting to try for the crime.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
Causes a mistrial, and that is a very big no-no.
Yeah. No,
which then leads into a very, very funny thing where now Vane, the extremely strict criminal investigator, is now having to go and help the defense.
Yeah.
Yay.
Gotta do things right.
Gotta do things right. But yeah, no, so that's like the last remaining, like, you know, vaguely funny Vane memory that I could give him back, and it's just him being really angry at his coworkers because they were trying to commit a really big violation that would cause a mistrial.
Yeah.
Just like coworkers in real life, I swear.
Also, Vane and his old partner had a very, very funny agreement set up. Vane's old partner would do all of the press related things if Vane went and did all of the like, you know, court things. So Vane wouldn't have to go and do like TV appearances or interviews or anything, and his partner didn't have to sit in that boring goddamn courthouse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I can't give him that funny agreement being made because it relates to his old partner, and once he starts getting that back, oh boy.
So, funny thing about Wyatt and Edgar is when Maddie and I, like, Maddie at some point was like, okay, so what's up with Edgar? What are we doing with Edgar? And I was like, well, if he's dead, that's not really a fun or good story, so let's not do that one. And then I got the choice between either Ed being, you know, dehydrated and starving, right? And I was like, that's not fun. Ed being actively hostile and attacking the party, which would have been not great, honestly. Wyatt would have probably had some sort of mental break.
Yay!
Nah, it would not have been good.
What's the worst that could happen? Oh no, you're supposed to kill your own brother. Trauma.
Yeah, no, but that's the kind of trauma that makes Wyatt not a functional member of the team.
He is no longer a functional member of society.
That too. So we went with the Edgar's mentally okay with like an asterisk because, you know, trauma.
Yeah.
But you know, something's wrong. But yeah, no, I was tempted by the hostile Edgar, but at the same time I'm like, that might be a little too much for Wyatt.
Yeah.
So, ha ha ha.
Yeehoo. Oh god, I was thinking about more boss things now, and I'm just like, it'd be really funny if someone else just like used Vane as a boss.
No,
No,
please,
wouldn't be.
no,
No, not like Vane as a character. I mean Vane's build.
Yeah, you know, that wouldn't be.
no, that wouldn't be fun.
Well, not for you guys. He would probably kill half of you in one round.
Exactly. No, let's not.
I mean, does that sound like fun, Tal?
Well, there's a reason that I said not for you guys, but for, like, you know, a different party. It'd be very fun.
You're right. You could have gotten an evil Wyatt arc, but I don't want to have to leave the party.
It's fine. We'll just become evil.
I mean, depending on what Mirrorpool does with Edgar, that might happen anyway. Smile.
Michelle can take us halfway there.
Take
Well, I mean, you guys
halfway
know
where?
Halfway to evil.
Why could Cashel do that?
We need the, like, unflinching, non-nervousness feeling, you know.
unflinching like nerve.
Yeah. Like, it'll be tough because, like, that mode will prevent us from doing something stupid. But also, like, you know. He might
Got
save
it.
us if we do something stupid.
I need to put points in Vane's skills. Why is the percentage of his XP that's been put into moves gone up?
Why
It was already at 81%. Why is it at 83%? I need to upgrade his skills.
Schemend?
I'll do it.
What do you mean Wyatt companion? You mean Ed?
No, Wyatt gets a companion.
What if Riv is Wyatt's companion?
No.
I think having to deal with someone like Riv would give Wyatt a heart attack almost immediately.
CJ. Gosh, the man bun jokes are never ending.
Yeah, no, they're not. Although having someone like Riv as a companion would also cause Wyatt to have the funnest reaction to simple phrases like "I'm gonna go help."
God.
So you get the feeling that every time he does that, by the time that Riv, like someone like Riv would come back and they'd just be like half dead.
Rick
like to
does
think
need a tank, huh?
Yeah, I like to think to some extent Sammy somewhat fulfills that role for Wyatt here.
Make sure this bird doesn't die. Doesn't get himself killed.
In all fairness, Wyatt just did see Sammy slap the boss with a fireball. It's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
the hardest move in the entire fight.
Yeah. No, that was great. Honestly, it's kind of cemented for Wyatt that despite Sammy being kind of scared and kind of inept when it comes to information control, Sammy still has his back.
It's okay, you can say pathetic.
He absolutely is. I don't even know if that's in contention.
But yeah, Sammy still got his back.
Yeah.
Gosh, every time I could just picture in my head like a ball of fire hitting something and just the fire scattering every time Sammy hit the dude with the fireballs.
That's pretty much what it is. It just like launches a little blob of fire, and like before it hits something, it like breaks apart, and it like, you know. Oh,
Sammy is a grunt with the fuel rod cannon from Halo.
I'll laugh when I play Halo.
Oh no. I've played only a very little Halo, but I can imagine.
Good enough.
It is past midnight. I should go to bed.
Cry. Abandonment.
No, I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open.
No. Good night, Asher.
Don't make me feel bad for getting my 8 hours.
I will.
It's okay. I understand.
I'm
Well,
not
don't
gonna
worry. We were
friends. Stay in
friends.
chat.
Don't worry, at this point it's less than 6 hours.
I command pure chaos! Kinda.
Jimond_ has turned Jibe Gab into a weasel. They can only talk like that Pokemon for 2 minutes.
Boy.
I command pure chaos!
Uh-oh.
Kinda.
Jimond_ has turned Zim into a weasel. They can only talk like that Pokemon for 2 minutes.
Weasel.
I command pure chaos! Kinda.
Jimond_ has turned Rive into a Weasel. They can only talk like that
Riv.
Pokemon for 2 minutes.
Oops, all weasels.
Boy.
Wee wee.
Boy.
Weasel.
Boy. Boy.
Oh no, I'm the only one here who can speak. Oh no.
Weasel.
One of mine, chop liver.
Oh. Well, you're also working.
I'll work you if you keep that up. Gonna unbox you and put you on the shelf.
Green.
Oh, I should sleep for real though. I'll wait until the first one wears off.
Wee wee.
Hmm.
Weasel.
The Council of Bui. And me. I'm here too.
Weasel.
Sometimes I can still hear your voice.
You're still a weasel.
No?
Wee. No.
Now that's
Weasel.
And tongue will be in a minute. Oh, not a minute, a few seconds.
God, I was a weasel for like 5 seconds and I already felt like 20% more bottomy. This is what happens to Ren.
I thought you were already 100% bottomy. How could you be more?
Sadly not.
Well, yeah, I'm going to bed. Good night, y'all. See you
Have a
around.
good night.
Good night.
Well, if we take some away from you, does that mean we have a lobotomy?
I think that's just me by default. I'm sorry.
You have misspelled his name wrong twice there, Shadow Wolf.
Dogs are not very smart.
Silly mutt.
My favorite sport is playing Zerg and then remembering that I can burrow.
I mean, you're close on both of them, Shadow Wolf. But they're basically the same both times. Just neither one is correct.
90.
I mean, Shadow Wolf, if it makes you feel better, Ren still can't spell my name correctly either.
Nor can Rex.
I don't think Rex even tries.
To be fair,
No.
they can't really like spell correctly, you know, especially Ren.
No, Rex tries.
Hey Zim, do you wanna hear something tragic?
Sure.
Nova has almost spent more XP on feats than Vayne has on skills. It's like It's very close, actually. Not quite, but almost.
I love how Lucci wrote it out correctly, and even still, Shadow Wolf insisted on the wrong spelling.
I know, right? It's correct. It's right there, Shadow Wolf. You have a visual reference.
Real power is sticking to the bit. We all know that.
But it's
There
not
is
even a
an
bit.
I. We're telling you it's correct. Why are you arguing it?
That's not how you spell his name.
At this point, I'm starting to think my name is becoming encrypted.
I know, right? And yes, simple. Gib Gab is playing StarCraft, which that would have been really fun to do. But then again, I suppose to be fair to Shadow Wolf, he somehow didn't know that Raijin and I were dating for, like, how long? Almost a year now?
I will never be called oblivious by Shadow Wolf, okay? That's my only take on this. If
Whoa.
Shadow Wolf, if you
Where'd
dare
you get
call me-
almost a year?
It's only a few months short of a year.
Well, it was established pretty officially on Halloween, so...
Fair enough. A little over 6 months.
And also, what do you mean? You are oblivious, Gib-Gab. It's in your name. Gib-Gab-livious.
I said Shadow Wolf will call me oblivious. I don't roughly consider myself oblivious, but if people are calling me that is one thing. If Shadow Wolf calls me, I don't consider it a personal insult.
I'm sorry, where does shipping come from?
Hey, my coworker didn't know either. Also entirely
I
coincidental that he's
command
also
pure chaos! Kinda.
Shadow Wolf 149 has turned Rajin into a Rockruff. They can only talk like that Pokemon for 2 minutes.
I heard
Rockruff?
Shadow Wolf, that's how you pronounce Raijin.
I command pure
Just because it's
chaos!
clear.
Kinda.
Shadow Wolf 149 has turned Jibe Gab into a Goldeen. They can only talk like that Pokemon for 2 minutes.
Goldie's nuts.
Rockruff.
Goldie.
Rock.
I didn't think it was possible, but Raijin is even cuter now.
Goldie?
Nice.
Rockruff.
Goldie.
I command pure chaos! Kinda.
Rockruff.
Shadow Wolf 149 has turned Razim into a Lycanroc. They can only talk like that Pokemon for 2 minutes.
Lycanroc.
Rockruff.
Lycanroc.
Goldie.
Rockruff. Rockruff.
Rock.
Goldie. Bring in.
Lycanroc.
My coworkers are giving me funny looks again.
I wonder why. And yeah, just in case, I am doing the Zerg part of the Swarm Wings of Liberty thing.
Where you do... Are you doing HOTS but it's Wings of Liberty, or Wings of Liberty but it's HOTS?
Wings of Liberty Zerg edition.
Okay, yeah, so Wings of Liberty, you know, Zerg HOTS edition, yes. How's that going?
It is so much easier than playing Terran. God, I hate playing Terran. So slow.
To be fair, I have the very unfortunate condition of hating Protoss. I'll play Terran and Zerg, just not Protoss.
I mean, okay,
Fucking
honestly,
Protoss that right into the garbage.
to be completely fair, my tier is like, I would rather play Zerg, and then it really depends on whether I'm playing, like, Legacy of the Void Protoss, or if I'm playing one of the commanders. If I'm playing a commander, it's tolerable Legacy of the Void Protoss. I actually kind of like multiplayer style Protoss. Weirdly enough.
I don't fucking, like, take me out back and execute me if I, like, click random accidentally and get Protoss.
It's just like, his Heron is just too slow.
I command pure chaos! Kinda.
Jimmond _ has turned Zim into a Crobat, ultimate CVHs. They can only talk like that Pokemon for 2 minutes.
Rockruff.
Cave Harpish.
Yeah, that's kind of what does it for me. Like, at least with Protoss, you get mobility, and you can ramp up pretty quickly once you get going. Terran is just so slow and steady, and I don't like that. I want to, like, you know?
I'm just a generational Protoss hater. I just fucking hate Protoss.
I respect that. The only thing I despise more than the races is the people who whine and are Terrans. It's like, no, Terrans underpowered. I'm sitting here like, bruh.
Anytime,
Like-
so, like, and I'm saying this as someone who, like, will mostly play Terran and then, like, I off-race Zerg. Just fucking build ghosts.
No, you see, they nerfed the Ghost in multiplayer by raising the supply cost from 2 to 3.
I
So
know.
Now a bunch of the Terran players just aren't building ghosts.
I know,
at
which is
all.
my point, where I'm just like, just fucking build ghosts.
Well, no, because now it's less efficient. Ugh.
Oh no, it's less efficient that I fucking delete all.
Yes. You went from being able to make what 20 ghosts to now being able to make like 15?
Yeah, but you don't even need that many ghosts to just dumpster everything.
Hell, if I'm not running my ball of 20 ghosts, I can't win the game. I'm a Terran and they're mean to me. Wah. I can, like... What do I do with 15 ghosts? I only counter every Zerg late game unit and the entire Protoss army.
Yeah, you just fucking click EMP on the Protoss and you win. And the Zerg, you just hold down the trigger for snipe. I guess it's called, like, what, like, steady targeting now? And you just fucking kill them anyway.
It still baffles me that, like, okay, because this is the one thing I found ridiculous, right? They nerfed the Ultralisk speed upgrade. Because they were like, okay, so here's the problem. when the Terran play like Marine Marauder medevac, right?
Yeah, the actual like mainly intended Terran playstyle.
Right, but when you play only Marine Marauder medevac and the Zerg gets high Ultralisks, they just completely destroy Marine Marauder medevac. So what's the solution to this? Is it, you know, for the Terran player to like get ghosts? Or like rework around a bit the Terran units to like maybe buff up the single target damage siege tank when out of siege position to like maybe give them a bit more counter ability there or something. No. Just nerf the Ultralisk. Lamau.
That won't
The
fuck up
Ultralisk,
ZVP at all.
like the Ultralisk doesn't even counter Marine Marauder medevac. What's the point of an Ultralisk? If you run it against Marine Marauder medevac, you still need infestors and you still need to land fungal growths to actually.
I was about to say, it really doesn't even do anything on its own. It's just like, if you catch them out of position, it's really good, or if like, you know, it's shit where it's like, because if the Terran player has hands and is paying attention, they're just going to load up into the medevacs, fly away slightly, and drop again out of range, and now the Ultralisks have to approach again, and congratulations. That's it.
But and what bothers me is at least the Ultralisk felt really good, those patches that I saw it, because it was like, you know what? Even if the Terran army still retains this mobility, it still is really cool to just see the Ultralisk chase down the entire bioblob and seeing like 5 Ultralisks come stomping down and knowing that if the Terran player, if they have carapace armor and the Terran player doesn't load up, or if they're caught out of position without enough medevacs, they just died because the Ultralisk should be the hard counter to this unit. And now it's not. You can run an Ultralisk against pure Marine Marauder and you can still lose. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's like,
which is extra ironic because, again, you know, Snipe does the whole just deal a shit ton of damage, ignore armor, single target. Like, literally, if you make 5 fucking ghosts, you counter the Ultralisk entirely.
yeah. It's
Also
genuine.
through Archon toilet time.
I don't even know.
To be fair, that was deservedly, like, you know, old Yellard from the game.
What was it?
Archon toilet.
I'm not familiar with it.
So you know how the mothership had the black hole ability originally?
Yes.
Where it would suck everything in and drop it out at the same point? So what you would do is you would black hole. Archons deal a very small amount of, like, very small AoE. So you would have your own Archons walk into the black hole, and because the instant that everything pops out, it occupied the exact same space, the Archons would all instantly attack the entire enemy army and kill literally everything all at once. It was called the Archon toilet.
Gnome the Weirdo, thank you for the follow. Welcome.
And it was called the toilet because you know how the black hole did the circular stretch around spaghettification thing, so it looked like a toilet? Yeah. That's why it was called that. It was called the Archon toilet. Deservedly, you know, gone.
Oh, is that where
also,
Skibbity came from?
No, unfortunately. That would have been at least sufficiently nerdy enough for me to find it occasionally funny.
Can you imagine how funny it'd be if it still existed, and of course somebody would just mod it, you know, every time you use it at the very end, the toilet pops up. Because why not?
Yep.
You would love to see 2 memes like a decade and a half apart.
But, yeah, no, Zim, that's what the Archon toilet is, and, yeah.
Honestly, I've been hearing that the mothership's actually pretty fire right now, and I kind of dig it. It was so trash for so long, and apparently now it's actually good.
Well, to be fair, it was trash forever. Then they introduced the Mothership Core, and the Mothership Core was one of the most ridiculous things in the game.
Yeah.
And then they went, oh, hey, we should not have the Mothership Core be like this. And then they just fucking got rid of it entirely. To be fair, they did try changing it a couple times. They did try a bit.
I don't know, I can respect the attempt on it. See, I would rather them try something big different and it fail than, like, nerf Zerg again because Cyril won another tournament. which I still
To
find
be,
it so...
to be fair, that was also the treatment that Terrans were getting a while because of Beyond.
Okay, but to be fair, it was mostly really early game stuff.
I know. I'm just more pointing out that, like, you know, that has happened to at least Terran before.
Well, to me, like, the big difference is just that, like, at least before then, I was kind of like, Terran could effectively just win every time by virtue of early game, like...
They would get a
No.
stim timing on, like, you know, fucking, like, 2 racks, you know, 1 starport medevac timing, and still just, like, kill people.
Yeah, it was basically easy win. And then, like, early on with the Reaper harass, like, it was just...
Yeah, Reaper harass, where you would make, like, fucking 1 or 2 Reapers, and you would just micro them until the opponent was fucking dead.
Yeah, it was like... See, I can accept that, because, like, there's literally basically no counter to that. But at least with, like, Zerg right now, it's particularly bad, because it's like, late game's just not viable, unless you're rogue and... Or, yeah, unless you're rogue, and then it's like, hey, how do you win Zerg late game? Hey, so you know the Overseer that's normally useless? Make like 50 of those, and you can just make unlimited changelings. And it really annoys the shit out of the Terran, who now has to manually target those changelings every single time. Free map hacks. And then when the Terrans complain about it, you point out that they have free map hacks. And now who wins? I saw a match of it recently too, and it's like, this is so annoying. Like, if I was Terran, I'd be incredibly tilted. Because it's like, oh, it's not just that you have 50 Overseers and you drop like 50 changelings and then you move them behind the Terran army, and if the Terran doesn't attack them, you just press E, hold position, and now the Terrans can't move through the changeling marines. They, like, you just body block their entire army. You, like, he was literally body blocking a Thor and surrounding it and then, like, attacking it, and the Terran would just sit there like, what is my life? What am I doing here? Not even just that. You also just fly the 50 Overseers on top of your own army, so when they hit...
I was about to say, it would fuck up their targeting prio entirely.
It does. It messes everything. But that's literally the only way for Zerg to win late game, because, like, you either cheese the game or you just die to Terran late game. What do you do? It's...
Yep. And, like, the hilarious thing about that is also just the fact where, like, yet again, it is just the funniest thing to me that of all things that a bunch of Terran players refuse to do late game. For whatever reason. Because I think, like, Terran players are addicted to always, like, bringing at least 2 medevacs full of units whenever they do, like, a base drop. And it's like, okay, why not send literally just 1? Send literally 1 medevac, fill it with, like, you know, a Marauder and the rest of it with Marines. And just fly it in there and annoy the shit out of the opponent by destroying, like, a building or 2 and then leaving. Or harass a mineral line. Just do something to, like, APM check their ass and annoy them into not paying attention to the front. Because the moment they stop paying attention to the front, guess what? Terran make Ghost.
I mean, that's kind of pretty much what Clem does. Clem's just, like, ridiculous at it.
Well, yeah, but Clem is Clem. Clem doesn't count.
But see, that's what's funny to me, because, like, Terrans do that, right?
Zeke,
And
I don't even know what you've come into at this point.
I'm sorry, me and Sarah.
Yeah, like, why don't you guys play games that are actually fun instead of that?
Well, normally I play Age of Empires 2, which is my RTS of choice. I just happen to know a lot about StarCraft. Because I'm me.
Look, we're just...
I'm actually an Age of player.
I still need to play Age of Mythology. But look, all I'm saying is Terrans are finally getting a taste of their own medicine, and it's so funny to me that they're complaining about it, because it's annoying.
Oh my god, I'm looking at it. Holy shit. I bumped an old chat that was, remember me telling stories about the ISB game? We had, like, a group chat, and I just put, like, bump in there, like, earlier today, and someone just messaged, her name is Amy, and she went, bro, I miss being an ISB agent for real. Gassing Bespin with a nerve agent was based. I love these people.
Why?
We did do that. To be fair, we did gas Bespin with a nerve agent.
ISB, Imperial son of a bitch.
But it does also come with a very absolutely hilarious memory of one time in that game we were going through a Sith temple. And we came to like the end of the thing, and we had like 3 different things we could choose from, and we didn't know shit about Siths. We just brute forced our way through the temple in like the most hilarious fashion. And what ends up happening is that there's 3 doors. There's power, reward, and pain. Those were the 3 options that we had. Simultaneously, with no discussion, we then proceeded to do the thing of all simultaneously going, pain, pain. Yeah, I choose pain. Everyone in the game immediately, like, simultaneously voiced that their choice was pain. To which the DM of the game had to literally stop. He went, wait, what? And then laughed for a little bit and went, oh, I fucking love you guys. You guys are the best. Because completely unprompted, we all, without discussing in or out of character, chose pain.
The single brain cell.
We all had the single brain cell, and and it was really funny because, like, in order to get here, we had to, like, go through so much, like, pain and suffering. Some of us were poisoned, and all of us, like, in character, just apparently came to the simultaneously conclusion that the other 2 are totally fucking traps.
Well, of course.
Yeah, we didn't know about the Sith. We just went, those 2 are traps. Down we go with pain.
What if I want
That made the DM literally stop because of how simultaneous it was. And he just laughed for a while, and they just went, I fucking love you guys.
Zeke, it's not the hard option. It's just the only correct option. It's a Sith temple. Through pain, you gain strength.
Also, with what gas? It was with a custom-made neurotoxin that we managed to clep off of a shapeshifter that we had our own shapeshifter pretend to be, because we didn't know that shapeshifter was pretending to be a guard, and we took out the guard and had our shapeshifter turn into the guard, but it turns out that the guard was already a shapeshifter. And they had a nerve agent on him, and we just went, well, that'll be useful, and took it with us. It killed a few hundred people. Oh, no. It was literally just you know, an aerial-based nerve agent in a glass vial, and one of us threw the glass vial down a set of stairs and nerve agented an entire police station.
So I want to comment, like, can I just say that, like, I still think the Sith code goes so much harder than the Jedi code. Like, the Jedi code is just like...
You can't have a comment.
Like the Sith code is just like... It's bussin', it's fire, not gonna lie.
It is better. I still think the original Jedi, like, you know, with all the fucking apostrophes and shit code, is, like, objectively the correct one, but, like, you know.
What's the original one?
It was... The original Jedi one was, there is no ignorance, there is knowledge, there is no fear, there is power. I am the heart of the Force. I am the revealing fire of light. I am the mystery of darkness, in balance with chaos and harmony, immortal in the Force.
That goes so much harder. What the fuck? Why are... Honestly, the Jedi Order are such a bunch of little bitches. They deserve
Yeah.
to get Sith.
I mean, like, you know, the early like version of the Jedi Code, it literally has the words in it of "I am the heart of the Force. I am the revealing fire of light. I am the mystery of darkness." That goes unreasonably hard. To be fair, even the older version of the current code is still better than the modern one, because the modern one is there is no emotion, there is peace, there is no ignorance, there is knowledge, there is no passion, there is serenity, there is no death, there is the Force. The old one was emotion yet peace, ignorance yet knowledge, passion yet serenity, chaos yet harmony, death yet the Force.
Yeah, I know that one. That one's also good.
Yeah, that one's decent. But the original one goes so fucking hard.
Yeah, I am adding that to my headcanon. This is the base to Jedi Code, and the Jedi by the time of the Clone Wars were just a bunch of boring little,
Oh yeah, they literally were.
So, Furvis needs to go by the original code. Got it.
Honestly.
This is why you never trust the green fuzzy gremlins.
Look, my headcanon is that, like, unironically, I think Yoda just, like, it was half of his fault. He was just too old and he needed to retire, like, 200 years ago. Imagine if Mace Windu had been the head of the Jedi Order. That would have been fire.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's an allegory for something.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, but that's beside the point.
But also, yeah, no, like, I think it's fairly obvious that, like, the correct choice is actually being in balance with both sides of the Force instead of just going, I pick this one.
I mean,
So, like, Furvis is going.
Yeah.
Well, like, unironically, even if you, like, the two interpretations of it are just genuinely that, like, either... Because I know there's, like, some degree of legend stuff that dabbles in this as well, and it's like, okay, either the light side is the correct side, but the Jedi are, like, psychotic about the light side of the Force, and you need to embrace, like, more than just the way the Jedi try to do it. Like, yeah, there will be some dark side, but it's not really being in balance of both. You want to be full light side, but it's not the way you do it. Like, you do want to be a full-fledged person and be a light side user, or you go with, like, you gotta do a bit of both. Like, it's either or, but at no point is the Jedi Order correct. Because I mean, that's kind of that tends to be what I prefer. Because honestly, Great Jedi sometimes just seem like, oh well, I'm gonna be the good guy. I don't like that. I think it's a little boring.
Do you say the gray Jedi are that?
Sometimes a little. It's just, it's like, oh, I want to be like the both sides. I'm gonna sit on the fence and be the perfect little boy. Sometimes it can come off a little like that with Grey Jedi. Not always. It depends on, like, the way the Grey Jedi is done. But they can sometimes be that way in some stories, and it's like, yes, we get it. You're super smart. But sometimes they're done well. Like, Qui-Gon is a great like Grey Jedi kind of vibe. And you can kind of tell because he disagrees with the Jedi Order at every turn.
By the way, fun fact about the whole Duel of the Fates thing, part of it was deciding if Anakin would be taught by Obi-Wan or if he would be taught by Qui-Gon, and we got the quote-unquote bad timeline where he got taught by Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Because if you don't think that
You can't gaslight me. Duel of the Fates is a Yu-Gi-Oh thing.
What's a Yu-Gi-Oh? Can I eat it?
I don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh is, but I am fairly fond of Paradox Billiards, Vistorian Roulette, Fourth Dimensional Hypercube Chess, Strip Poker.
I don't know what you just said.
It's a children's card game.
Ah.
Do you need him to repeat it?
It's the very classic known children's card game of Paradox Billiards, Vistorian Roulette, Fourth Dimensional Hypercube Chess, Strip Poker.
Okay. I'll also pretend like I listen and then momentarily phase out of existence.
My favorite part of Yu-Gi-Oh was when they decided to play Dungeons and Dragons instead, and what they were doing was cheating by gently shaking the table with their legs to control the spinning D20s to always land on 20, and doing it so subtly as to make it nearly impossible to be perceptible by the human eye. But since both of them were actually demons controlled by, or they were humans controlled by demonic, evil, golden pyramid things, it's fine.
I still think one of my favorites is that they made one of the protagonists of one of the series just be Space Hitler.
I mean, really quick, to be fair, Lucci, that kind of really depends on the media. There's a lot of media that tries to go more for the, like, everything is gray, there is no good and evil. I mean, that's kind of literally what part of the prequels were, like, going on about to some extent. And a lot of the Clone Wars kind of also lies on that side. So, like, depending on what kind of media you want to go for, it can kind of swing around. And that's literally, like, exactly a problem that Star Wars has had in terms of, like, trying to define what is the light side of the Force, what is the dark side, what is the Force, because that kind of has changed a lot over time. Which is why I said, like, some of the older, like, Legends implications are that the light side is good, period. There is no middle. You want to be a light side user. You just don't want to be, like, a robot. That's bad. And to some extent, the problem is trying to wield the light side to your benefit, because that's also bad. You should listen to the Force, and the Force is what determines what's good and evil, and there is a good and evil. And nowadays, the more, like, fan interpretation is that you want to be a great Jedi, and you want to, like, stick to kind of the middle, because neither of them are necessarily good or bad, and it kind of flips around a little every now and then.
A good part of that is legitimately due to the Legends version of Luke Skywalker, who just, like, straight up was like, hey, we're gray now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying it kind of varies depending on when and how. I think that nowadays still it's like it still is basically just that, like, yeah, Grey Jedi are the good boys. I guess Ahsoka kind of counts as a Grey Jedi.
I wouldn't say that they are the good boys. They are neutral.
Yeah, but to what purpose?
Whatever purpose they see fit.
Oh, it'd be the Force.
It depends on the specific individual.
Because that would be, like, at least to me, what defines the Great Jedi. It's that more than anything, they don't necessarily have their personal, like, good or bad. They just listen to the Force, and the Force tells them what to do, right? Effectively. Or the Force guides their actions. They are the wielder of the Force as much as the Force wields them.
It, again, kind of depends on the specific individual and what group of Grey they belong to. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Tao, but, like, there's the group of Grey Paladins, or the Grey Paladins that don't really interact with the Force much at all. They don't even use lightsabers. Their thing is... go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, no, they don't... Well, okay. So, they do still sometimes utilize lightsabers, it's just not their go-to. But they tend to resort to actual military tactics and conventional weaponry, even advocating for the use of blasters. They didn't issue lightsabers entirely, but they didn't think that they were a dependable weapon. And they believe that, people should use whichever weapon they felt most comfortable with.
And yes, there are pure Force entities in Star Wars, Geeman. You can see them... Actually...
Pretty sure
would the Lothwolves be considered them?
Not as a pure Force entity. That's where, like, the son and father and them.
Yeah, the
be
son and
your force entities.
the son, father, and daughter were the main ones I was thinking of, but then it was like, wait, what about the...
No, they're just naturally attuned. For example, another one. There are races out there where every single member of that race is a force sensitive.
But we're also, but yeah, Geeman's not talking about force sensitive. He is talking about beings of the force, and that would be the father, son, and daughter.
And maybe Abeloth.
I think Anakin also kind of have to.
Yeah,
He was like Space Jesus.
Also, Comet.
Does Comet have a lot of forceful? Does he go the Ren mode and only put points into forceful? No other merit?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Oh my. Zim. Yeah. If you want to be a pure force being, just put all of your points into forceful. No other merits. Ren mode.
But yeah, Grey Paladins were really interesting because they did everything that they could to have the Force be a secondary part of their life rather than making it the focus. Part of the reason that they did this is because they thought that the Force was like suffused through everything. So they were like, hey, there is no really being independent of the Force, but that also means it's present in everything. So they basically argued that their skills and abilities should be developed with a minimal dependency on it, so that way they couldn't possibly be influencing the Force to fit their own ends, and instead they'll just be better conduits for the Force by not relying upon it.
They refuse to use force powers, period.
Well, not all the flashier ones. They do not use any of the flashy ones.
Fair.
They won't do those acrobatic backflip fucking leap things.
But I assume they still go lay in their bed at night, realize they left the lights on, and just flick the lights off of the Force.
No, they don't do that. But they mostly would just meditate on the Force to try and ask for guidance. But they would a lot of the times they would utilize the Force in in order to slightly nudge and guide their actions in combat. So they could use a blaster to shoot another blaster bolt out of the air, but not through utilizing a specific Force power for that, just by allowing the Force to guide where they should place their bolt.
But
yeah,
it's a really interesting thing where they literally just do not use any of the actual flashier Force powers, but they will still kick your ass so fast.
But this is where I am going to call the stream, everybody.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it is a really fun conversation, but I'm tired.
Get some sleep.
Thank you everybody for joining us on the stream today. That was TCG Card Shop Simulator. Well, kind of more on the side of lots of conversations. But check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, that you can also do so by sharing the stream around, grabbing packs of cards through stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or grabbing some merch over at zgfgaming.store. But for now, thank you so much for joining, everyone, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.